right, you guys, today we've got the Indo Raptor versus Scorpios Rex created by Goji Center. Now, this is a 23-minute video, and we will do our best to watch all of it, but I basically have a brain that's kind of structured like a squirrel, and I can't focus for more than 2.5 seconds. So if you guys see some missing stuff, that's because I fast-forwarded, all right? Here we go. Let's get this started. If you guys are already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button right now.
The most ferocious death machines ever seen in Jurassic World. One being the very first hybrid ever created, a dinosaur with a mind so unstable that it will disregard its own well-being to kill. The Scorpios Rex. The other,
I didn't know the Scorpios Rex was like that, dude.
Future made from pieces of the past, with a mind so sick that it finds pleasure in ending anything with a pulse. The Indo Raptor.
Dude.
In this video, we will find out what would happen if both of these hybrids run into each other.
Who do you got right now? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm going with the Indo Raptor. I feel like the Indo Raptor only because the brain is a little bit smarter than the other one.
That one of them must die. We will discuss their intelligence, armor, strengths, and weaknesses, and even their mental ailments that will determine which of these killers will be yet another fatality. This battle will be
the Indo Raptor wins all day long.
Hybrid, killer versus killer. So stay with us to the end as we reveal who is the ultimate dinosaur butcher.
Oh, man.
Before we enter the analysis platform, let's first take a look at both of these animals' dimensions. The Scorpios Rex was confirmed to be the very first hybrid in the Jurassic World franchise. The fully grown Scorpios Rex seen in the Netflix show Camp Cretaceous was approximately 11 to 12 feet in height and up to 26.25 feet in length.
That's not terribly big.
Was very agile, fast, and light for its size. Some notable features are its grotesque and etched appearance, a byproduct of being the very first hybrid ever built.
Yeah, it is a little bit crazy.
On the other hand, we have a more handsome and sculpted predator. The Indo Raptor, so named after the Indominus Rex, had a long, slender, and stealthy build, measuring up to
I just realized I used to call it the Indominus Rex, but it's Indominus.
10 feet in height
I'm
while standing upright,
dude.
and up to 24 feet in length. This dinosaur was slightly smaller than the Scorpios Rex. Its posture was also very different, as it was shown that this animal preferred to walk on all fours.
Oh!
Now that we are acquainted with the physical shape and dimensions of our contestants, let's enter the analysis platform.
Let's do
Durability. Both of these hybrids were seen in combat on screen for some time, meaning that their corporal features could handle some damage.
They're basically
but who
really
is
strong.
More durable? The Scorpios Rex was the very first hybrid ever created by Dr. Wu, meaning that its physical features were not as perfect as the next hybrid Rex or any other secret creations. This dinosaur was able to withstand several impacts from an identical opponent for some time. Its main durability attribute must have been found in its skeletal build. In this scene, we see how the Scorpios Rex manages to soak an impact from technically two directions, the opponent and the floor. The Indo Raptor, not so much. After falling out of a window, the Indo Raptor landed on the rooftop and remained there motionless.
To be fair, getting slammed on the ground by your opponent and falling out of a window that's 20 feet high is a little bit different.
Something that the Scorpios had no problem with.
Oh, that's true, though.
What the Indo Raptor does have is something found in later hybrid iterations: bullet-resistant skin. Note that this is not bulletproof skin. This extremely thick leather proved to withstand bullets from a SIG 522 rifle. See how these bullets get absorbed and then fall off the side of this Indo Raptor. Later on, slashes and bites from a velociraptor were not necessarily strong enough to pierce deep into its skin, especially its reinforced back, which is covered by armor plate like osteoderms. Another indicator of how thick.
So basically, both these things are super durable. Now, what I'm excited for is the intelligence.
Intelligence. The Scorpios Rex proved to be probably one of the most, if not the most intelligent dinosaur in Isla Nublar.
That's why it's gonna win.
That is, when it decided to focus. This animal understood how to flank its prey from the sides or from above, quickly learning that this was the most effective way to kill prey. Being the very first hybrid doesn't come without some challenges. Throughout its appearances in Camp Cretaceous, this animal displayed symptoms of neurological ailments that could be detrimental to its combat ability.
Wait.
This dinosaur showed signs of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or more commonly known as ADHD. Evidence of this is shown in the constant hyper behavior and tendency to get distracted by sounds, other animals, and glowing objects. The fact that this dinosaur took down a Brachiosaurus says a lot about its lack of self-regard, since most large theropods would think twice before taking a risk to attack a dinosaur of this size. In addition to its hyperactivity, this animal was most likely bipolar, docile on some occasions, and then going berserk in an instant. This unpredictable aggressive behavior could probably be useful in this coming battle. The Indo Raptor, on the other hand, was also extremely intelligent, inheriting the traits of Velociraptors and the Indominus Rex, which were perhaps the most intelligent dinosaurs in this franchise. This animal was an extremely fast learner, problem solver, trickster, capable of opening doors and retaining memories. Let's go back to this scene mentioned earlier. Note that while this Indoraptor was kept in captivity,
they know the Indo Raptor is basically bullet resistant, can't be shot, yet there's a dude inside of this cage with a gun.
Several times. 3 darts were necessary. Special darts which could pierce its skin.
Oh, just kidding.
Once the Indoraptor knew that they were trying to trank him, he quickly pretended to be asleep, probably because it knew that 1, these tranks sucked, and 2, he only got shot twice. This scene taught us even more about this raptor. Note how it used its tail as a distraction. But truth be told, he was just toying with Ken. This animal's brain is so advanced that it finds pleasure in the deceiving of this individual and the process of ending his life. A trait found in highly intelligent...
That is terrifying, dude.
And the process of ending his life. A trait found in highly intelligent animals. Remember that this dinosaur was built to be a weapon of war. It was engineered to think strategically and be focused on the target and
See, the Indo's definitely 1000% going to win. Let's see what its bite is like, though.
When it comes to bite effectiveness in this battle, we will probably have to take more into account than just skill or bite force. Let's start with the Scorpios Rex. This dinosaur wasn't just ugly just because. There's actually a real reason why. Seriously, we tried very hard not to roast this dinosaur, but now we kind of have to. Believe it or not, this dinosaur suffers from a condition known as brachycephaly, a condition that causes a skull deformity characterized by a shortened antero-posterior skull length and a widened diameter. A well-known animal that suffers from this are pugs. This genetic flaw made this hybrid skull similar to a Carnotaurus, who had a bite force of a mere 3,400 newtons, kind of weak for an animal of this size. The deformities do not end here. Apart from not having the requirements to support strong muscle attachment, this animal's teeth varied in size a little too much, meaning that not all the teeth would make contact with the Indoraptor
very true, though. Very true.
The Indoraptor wasn't perfect either, but it did have a skull that did support appropriate muscle attachments needed for a stronger bite. If having a head shaped like a T-Rex doesn't tell you anything, this might. Note that this dinosaur's teeth are spread apart, but somehow easily cut through this dude's arm.
Oh my gosh.
Brute force. That's right, ladies and gents. Although the teeth aided in the piercing, this animal's jaw clamped down with so much force that it was able to crush through bones and tissues. But whose bite will be the most effective against their opponent?
That's so scary.
Given that the Indoraptor's skin is thick in the upper part of its body, this
true.
Scorpios Rex will find it more difficult to pierce. Whereas the Indoraptor's bite will probably find it easier to rip through the less armored foe. Both of these animals have a good bite, but one can pierce better. For this round, the Indoraptor takes the edge for bite effectiveness.
That's what I'm talking about, boy. The Indo's gonna win, dude.
When it comes to weapons other than a mouthful of teeth, both of these hybrids come equipped with different types of weapons. Let's begin with the Scorpios Rex. By examining this animal's anatomy, we see that the Scorpios' legs have a wider range of motion than its opponent. Its arms can also extend outward in a considerable range. But what about those claws? In order to bring down all types of dinosaurs in Isla Nublar, these would have had to be made of a very strong material, capable of withstanding the immense pressure between the Rex's limb and the victim's flesh. Same will go for that deadly claw on each foot. But perhaps the most notable offensive attribute of the Scorpius is found here.
The tail, the spiky tail.
These are covered in quills, which are venomous, courtesy of the scorpion fish. In the real world, getting pierced by one of these will be extremely painful and cause other serious side effects such as muscle twitching, fever, anxiety, agitation, confusion, and even paralysis or death if you're a smaller individual. But the Scorpios Rex's quills' effect on dinosaurs
I gotta watch
was
that.
more on the neurological realm. Note how some dinosaurs would become agitated and acting abnormally aggressive, almost reckless. How will these affect the Indo Raptor? Let's address something very important first. Its forward-leaning posture, which in this case would be beneficial for the Indo Raptor. How?
It'll give it more force, right?
Thicker skin is located on its skull and upper part of its body. A whip of the Scorpius' tail would have to strike low in order for the quills to pierce an Indo Raptor. These quills are not likely to have the piercing power to penetrate the Indo Raptor's armored and bullet-resistant upper body, making these almost ineffective unless one lucky quill managed to pierce its lower body. The Indo Raptor now hits back with the sharpest weapons seen in any raptor in this franchise. These were very similar to the Indo Rex's claws, made of fibers that could pierce bulletproof glass. This does not end here.
What?
This guy has a very interesting way to claw, or should we say stab its victims. Given that these claws are also very pointy, the Indo Raptor's method of clawing travels in a flat arc trajectory, stabbing
she's like,
deep into the opponent's flesh and then pulling outward, cutting any muscle tissue or intestines. These two dinosaurs had similar foot claws and were both built to rip and disembowel.
My
But in
gosh.
this case, the Indo Raptor's lower posture and less vulnerable striking areas give the Indo Raptor the edge.
Dude,
when it comes
I
to the
guessed the Indo
effectiveness
Raptor at the
of
beginning. I think the
auxiliary
Indo
weaponry.
Raptor is going to win.
Before we reveal the winner, let's explore some last crucial details about these two hybrids. X Factor. Previously, we discussed the Scorpios Rex's genetic flaw that inhibited the Scorpius from having a stronger bite. This flaw doesn't just affect bite force, but also its stamina. But how? Animals with brachycephalic syndrome tend to have less oxygen directed to the lungs. This genetic flaw shortened its skull, which means that any soft tissue inside its nasal cavity is now squeezed in a smaller space, as these remain unchanged in size. What does this mean?
He has to open his jaw,
airflow, which then leads to fatigue and shorter stamina. Not good in a fight. Knowing this dinosaur will now be forced to end this battle quickly, as it is most likely aware of its own endurance limitations. The Indo Raptor was a hybrid developed for tactical military use, built to hunt down and kill the most dangerous
and last
creature on
forever,
Earth,
dude.
humans. During the development of this dinosaur, all the engineered attributes were specialized to take out military personnel, not other dinosaurs. But being a weapon of war also comes with immunological perks. Dr. Wu spared no expense when it came to equipping this dinosaur inside and out. In war, a new weapon like this would most likely be targeted for capture, either alive or dead, meaning that this raptor had to be equipped with an immune system optimized to fight foreign substances, such as toxins, wound infections, and even sedatives. Yeah, the other side would want to trank this thing and keep it, which is another reason why this dinosaur required 3 darts instead of 2. We are now ready to reveal which of these hybrids is the deadliest.
Indo Rex!
The Scorpios Rex, with its unpredictable personality, takes the edge in agility and a critical edge in overall strength. The Indo Raptor, with its optimized combat attributes, takes the edge in combat intelligence, speed, terrain compatibility, bite effectiveness, and auxiliary weapons. Both of these hybrids are equal when it comes to corporal resistance, each with their own ways of dealing with damage. By compiling all of our data, we determined that the Indo Raptor would be the clear winner in this fight. In a confrontation between these two hybrids, the Indo Raptor's more strategic approach can be credited for the win. Being a
That's
weapon
what I was
of
gonna
war,
say from the beginning.
This dinosaur would instinctively assess its opponent, sizing up its own weapons against the opponent's weakness and strength. Things like its taller stature, its lack of thick armor, and its reckless behavior, and its easily distracted focus would be attributes that the Indo Raptor could exploit. Let's cross these one by one. As soon as these animals approach, the Scorpios Rex's taller stature in comparison to the Indo Raptor only means that it can attack from a higher position, only being able to strike the most protected areas of her opponent.
Yup.
And the Indo Raptor knows this. This armored area would mitigate the damage caused by the Scorpios. Next up, we have the Rex's bad method of pouncing on a victim. Not that pouncing is bad, it's just that against the Indo Raptor, pouncing with your arms and legs spread open leaves this soft, squishy belly exposed to the Raptor's razor-sharp weaponry. Again, something the Indo Raptor will counter with an upward lunging attack and aiming for its jugular or intestines.
Oh my
ripping
gosh.
them out immediately. But what about those quills? We mentioned that in a battle, these would most likely not pierce the Indo Raptor at all, given that during a fight, the Indo Raptor's body is usually under this tail's range of motion. But on the off chance that the quills do pierce a more vulnerable area, this venom would now have to fight the Indo's advanced immune system, which would quickly mitigate the neurological effects of the venom. If this thing did not immediately kill this girl, then it most likely would not affect an Indo Raptor. But yet another reason why the Scorpios would have a harder time would be its tendency to get distracted a lot. The Indo Raptor just so happens to enjoy this sort of thing by manipulating surrounding elements or its own elongated body to distract its opponent, who, by the way, was forced to execute fast and uncalculated maneuvers in a futile attempt to kill the Indo Raptor more quickly because of its limited endurance. In conclusion, and after analyzing this battle from all angles, it was almost an unfair fight. Yes, it would
That's
be
actually crazy to think about,
but
though.
The fact that this animal was a more refined hybrid than the Scorpios Rex made it win the edge in most attributes. This hybrid's superior intelligence and its ability to scope out weaknesses won this battle. Do you agree with the outcome of this battle?
I
Tell
do
us why
agree.
or why not in the comments.
I agree 100% because I said it from the beginning that this is going to be what happens. I thought the Indo was going to win, and that's just what happened. It's just smarter. It's more efficient. It's stronger. It's more agile. It's just the Indo is insane. But you guys, let me know if you were right down below. Also, make sure to go check out Goji Center's channel. They'll be linked in the description down below. Make sure to head over there, give a like, do something, show some support to their channel. But thank you guys so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. It is your boy Corey. And as always, guys, see you in the next one. See you guys later. Bye-bye.